Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. If you're just joining us, we've been discussing the Milwaukee Repertory Theater. They recently kicked off their 2016-17 season, and one of the shows that's playing now through October 30th is Lady Day at the Emerson Bar and Grill. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely make it a date. An award-winning musical, fresh from its Broadway revival, and it's playing the role of the legendary Billie Holiday, and the lady who's taken on that part is Alexis J. Roston, and we're now being joined by Abdul Hamid Royal, who is the music director, and he also plays the role of Jimmy Powers. Welcome back, Alexis, and hi, Abdul Hamid. How are you?
It's good to see you again.
Always excited to see you.
Likewise.
And as I mentioned before the break, you are from Milwaukee, so it's pretty special for you to be able to travel home to perform.
This is the second time since I've been gone, in the past 25 years, that I've had an opportunity to come back, and I'm so happy to be back in Milwaukee and get to sit at my mom's table and catch up with friends and to be back in Milwaukee. For sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. And your background, your mother, if I remember correctly, she worked with the Florentine Opera.
She did indeed work with the Florentine for many, many years. In fact, the first show that I did as a kid, I was a super for Aida. That was my first stage experience, walking behind the elephants during that production.
And the rest, as they say, is history. Now,
know.
Lady Day at the Emerson Bar and Grill, you guys performed this in the Stackner Cabaret, and when I say that the tone is really set, you've got your pianist who is going by the name of Jimmy Powers.
Jimmy Powers.
Tell us about Jimmy.
Jimmy is a classic codependent. Jimmy loves Lady Day and has been there for her, and is the latest incarnation in her musical directors. He has the unique opportunity to kind of be there for her in a number of ways, some of which are a little bit indescript in the character, but in a very powerful way. And I think that she leans on him. I think that he also, in many, many ways, recognizes how powerful it is to be with someone of her magnitude and talent at this point in his career.
Wow. And Alexis, during the play, you make it clear that Billie Holiday, that the jazz and blues greats Bessie Smith and Louis Armstrong were artists that, and I say you as in Lady Day, that they influenced you in a way that really helped you be who you are on that stage. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, Billie Holiday loved Bessie Smith's grandness, the greatness of her voice. She said, oh man, if only I could have a voice big like that. Well, she understood that she didn't have a voice big like that, but the feeling that Bessie carried through her music is something that she wanted, as well as Louis Armstrong's feeling. When she listened to him, it was smooth and sweet, and she was just so drawn to that. And so she says that these are two people that she knows full well that influenced her sound.
Okay.
Between the two of them, she got Billie Holiday.
All right, and when we talk about the music, I mean, the lyrics are always something that make you just stop and think. My favorite line, I think, and I'm scared to even try to sing it, but my favorite song would be her saying, if I go to church on Sunday, the cabaret all day Monday, ain't nobody's business if I do.
Come on.
That's it.
I
love
look,
that.
country western didn't happen.
I know, but
Look country, look rock and roll.
That's good. No, that's
I
good.
wasn't singing, I was talking at you guys.
Good job. Yes.
They're both like, what was that? But you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That leads to actually you singing these iconic songs and you playing them, because you play that piano like nobody's business.
You're very kind. Thank you so much.
So talk about what it means to musically to be doing these pieces.
Okay, from my vantage point, you always need somebody who understands when to go all in, when to lay back a little. You know, it helps to further the arc of the story if you have a great accompanist who knows how to help carry that vision across to the people. So I got a gem in working with Abdul Hamid because he's very vested in making sure that this story gets told. And musically, we are synced up in such a way that I am just so grateful.
Yeah. Your favorite song to sing?
Oh, the opening number. I love it.
Is that the ooh, ooh, ooh?
No.
Oh.
It's I Wonder Where Our Love Is Gone.
Ah, I mean, all of it's awesome,
It
really.
is.
Your favorite to play?
Oh, that's hard. The hardest song for me to play is Hush Now.
Oh.
It comes at the very tail end of the play. And what Alexis was talking about, sort of the chemistry that we had sort of from day one. It's just one of those
That's
things.
a blessing. Can you imagine what
Yeah.
it's like if you guys were kind of like, eh?
It would be rough.
Yeah, sometimes work can feel like work, but it was a mixture of her complete and total professionalism and her preparedness to do whatever was going to be necessary to really magnify this story of Lady Day. That was clear, like that's the nuts and bolts. That was the profession. But then there's that other piece, there's that X factor, and she definitely has it. And it's one of those things I've been around long enough to know, and I've said to her, so this is no surprise to her, that she has it. There's that ability to communicate, to go inside the material, not just the lyric, but the text as well, right? And so when we started making music together, it was a really, really special thing. And when I'm on this journey with Billy, when Jimmy is on this journey with Billy, by the time we get to Hush Now, she has taken me emotionally as well as the audience through this journey. And some nights it's very difficult even to play the end of the show because Jimmy's hopes and dreams and aspirations for Billy are so strong that he's impacted in a really, really visceral way.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, and I hope to stop me if I'm giving away too much, but Billie Holiday was known for wearing the gardenia in the hair, and at some point during the play, Billie Holiday, you play her so well, I'm saying you as Billie, but she has this moment about her flowers and needing them to go on and to continue. Oh, in your research, what did you find out about her and these flowers?
Well, honestly, I mean, I do tell it. I tell it in the story, but it's just like anybody else. When we get to a place of comfortability in what we're doing, we have things that we hold on to. And for her, it had become such an iconic symbol, you know, that she wasn't her until she donned that gardenia in her hair.
Okay.
You know, and in this particular story, we are dealing with her performance in a place where she had been stripped of just her dignity, if you will, and she has made her livelihood, and she's made a conscious decision to return to this place for one of the last concerts that she would ever have. And there is this, she starts out in such a way that she tries to pull away from that iconic, this is me, because that would be the old Billie, you know? Well, this new Billie is not dependent on that thing. She's not dependent on who you think she is, you know? And so you saw the show and you get to see her tell the audience who she is, but I don't want to give it away.
Right, don't give it away. It's all good. They have to go and check it out. But one thing people have to remember about Billie Holiday is that this was a woman who was raped at an early age, 10 years old, worked in a brothel.
Taken by her mother.
Yeah,
work in a
yeah,
Broadway.
yeah. And then has a very special relationship with her mother
Yeah.
as well that you guys really tap into well during the performance. But she was addicted to drugs, and then she was stripped of her cabaret license. And so, like you said, all of these things happening, sent to prison. It was kind of like chipping away at this woman, and like you said, this performance shows that she is going to fight to keep singing because that is who makes her who she is. That is what makes her Lady Day, and you guys do such a wonderful job in really just golly, the one thing that just gave me chill bumps when you came back from the break, when Lady Day came back on stage, I was blown away. I'm like, it just set in my mind racing on all the different things that were happening. And I can't imagine seeing that and witnessing that in real life.
Well, every artist has a history.
Yeah.
And so when an audience, any audience, views the artist, sometimes they see them one-dimensionally, right? In whatever it is that they present or who it is that they think they are, whether they're an artist, an actor or singer, a musician. What's interesting, though, is to peer behind the veil of a person's history, because what they bring to that performance, the thing that you actually connect with, is not just the song, it's not just the text, it is the history that you're also connecting with, but you don't know until they, in this case, until Billie chooses to reveal all of these things. You have no idea that feeling that she talks about when she talks about Louis' feeling and Bessie's big sound. And she says at one point, that's all I was at one point, was a feeling walking around on two legs. And then the experience of life experience that she had. It really, sort of gives the audience an opportunity to look into kind of the complexity of an artist, and nobody is doing it better than Alexis J.
You can
Roston.
say that again. And of course, there is the autobiography, Lady Sings the Blues, and then there was the movie where Diana Ross performed Billie Holiday. And I think that's when I first became interested in who was this woman, because of course it was way before my time. But you do such an outstanding job, the both of you, in bringing her music alive and giving it to us so authentically that you almost feel like you are really checking out Billie Holiday in Philadelphia in the late 1950s. So kudos to you and continued success.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure.
Likewise.
And whenever you come back to town, you know where you got to come.
You already know that.
Alexis J. Roston plays the role of Billie Holiday, and Abdul Hamid Royal, he's the music director and plays the role of Jimmy Powers in the musical Lady Day at the Emerson Bar and Grill, showing at the Milwaukee Rep now through October 30th. And for ticket information, you can log on to MilwaukeeRep.com or call 414-224-9490. And that is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.